I have a huge announcement. It's a huge announcement, and I will explain further tomorrow during the first or second hour. But Landmark Legal Foundation, as I speak, has filed a Freedom of Information Act request with the Central Intelligence Agency. We've been working on this since Thursday because it's a more complicated issue than people think, given the roadblocks that they can throw up. Demanding any and all notes, records of any kind, electronic or paper, of the sessions with members of Congress on the enhanced interrogation. And I will get into more of this tomorrow. This is something, as I said, we've been researching and working on since Thursday. And we'll see what kind of roadblocks they're thrown up. There should be few, if any, given the President's decision to release the legal memoranda in the first place, thereby waiving any national security concerns. If there are no national security concerns as deemed by the President himself, respecting the legal advice and the practices that had been secret, how can there be national security concerns respecting those who were briefed on them? We don't believe there can be. Now, these federal bureaucracies tend to drag their feet as long as they can. I've been in litigation with many of them. I've talked about it before, the Internal Revenue Service, the Environmental Protection Agency, others as well. We know their tactics. But I'm assuming, since this is a transparent administration, I'm assuming since it was so crucial to get those memoranda out, I'm assuming since they want a truth commission that there can be really no objections to this. So we want to get a hold of any notes and anything else that was discussed there, any presentations that were made in any form, any communications. In other words, we want to find out if Pelosi, among other members of Congress, are war criminals. Oh, what do you mean, Mark? Well, the left-wing nutjobs have been accusing these attorneys of being war criminals. Excuse me, they're left-wing nutjobs, such as the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Patrick Leahy, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, John Conyers, two left-wing radical nutjobs, have been suggesting that these are crimes. And so we're just trying to figure out the extent to which members of Congress may have been involved in these crimes, either through their own comments or their silence, either affirmatively or silently. Right, Nancy? Why have a commission when I can find out what you're doing and what you've done? And so I will provide more elaboration on that tomorrow and read from some of our filings. We will also link to them once we get them up and about. But as I say, we've been working on this since Thursday, as well as other things that I can't yet reveal. People say all the time, Mark, what can we do? And what do I say? The question is, what can I do? The question is, what can you do? If I sat around and waited for what can we do, there'd be no we doing anything. What can I do? I can write a book and try and lay out the case for conservatism and the case against statism. I can try and get to the truth of some of these matters involving the Obama administration, involving Pelosi. What can I do in my own little way, even if I, meaning you, take more responsibility in inculcating your children with our principles than your grandchildren? Giving them the materials that you ought to have them read. Not necessarily talking about liberty and tyranny, but there's a lot of materials out there. There are a lot of organizations out there who can help you. They didn't exist when I was working in the Reagan campaign, 76, but they exist today. In superb schools, I fancy Hillsdale, and a few others. But this is the key. This is the key, doing what you can in your own orbit, because it will make a difference.